come out of executive session?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Rachel? Or Katrina?
That's my sister.
Yes.
We were in executive session for 30 minutes. The topics of discussion were personnel and contractual regarding the PBA. We did not discuss numbers 3, 4, or 5 on your agenda. We will go back into executive session at the end of the meeting to discuss those items. The minutes from executive session will be available at such time as the need for confidentiality no longer exists. Thank you.
Okay, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided indicating the time and place of the meeting in accordance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975 by advertising a notice in the Star Gazette and the Express Times and by posting a copy on the bulletin board in the municipal building. I'd ask that everyone bow their heads for a moment of silence. Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please, Ben.
Yes. Councilman Belcaro.
Here.
Councilman Polito.
Here.
Councilman Wright.
Here.
Council President Pryor.
Here.
Mayor Mafucci.
Here. Any public comment on agenda items? John?
Yes. My name is John Betts at 225 Red School Lane. I'm associated with the Break the Guns Tenants Organization. I've got a question about item number, old business, item number 3, second reading of ordinance 1801. It says here that the second reading on public hearing to regulate, control, and stabilize rents and creating a rent leveling board. Is that only speaking about the creation of the rent leveling board, or is that speaking about proceeding with the entire ordinance at this time?
It's the ordinance at this time. We already have a rent level.
Right.
The ordinance expires every certain number of
Yes.
years, so there's no changes made to the ordinance. It's merely renewing the ordinance.
Yes, I understand that now. And the question is, does that ordinance have anything to do with the new heating ordinance that we had?
No, this doesn't make any changes to the ordinance.
No, nothing with the heating ordinance we had last summer.
There's one section in the ordinance that is an enabling ordinance, and it
Yes.
just re-enables the ordinance.
Okay, then another, just a comment I'd like to make on the previous ordinance, and a preamble that went through went with the previous ordinance, and it goes, whereas the landlords have expressed their desire to provide rental reductions, freezes, and other incentives to some existing tenants in need of such assistance. However, under the existing rent control ordinance, providing such reductions, freezes, or incentives would negatively impact the landlords because it would permanently reduce the base rent with no opportunity to reduction. The landlords expressed the desire to reduce the rents on some people, on some tenants, under certain circumstances. It's not in the ordinance, but I would like to make the statement that I would hope that the landlord would carry on the same manner under this new ordinance. All right, same spirit of the preamble. All right. Okay. All right, sir.
All right, thanks, John. Anybody else? Public comment on the agenda? Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Will there be any further comment on that item when you come to a vote?
There's a public hearing.
Public hearing.
Hearing.
Yeah,
You can
okay.
speak
Okay.
directly
All right,
to
thank
it.
you very much, Mr. Mayor.
Anybody else? Public comment on agenda items only. All right, seeing none, under old business. Number 1, approve executive and regular session minutes for December 28th, January 3rd, and January 17th.
I have some comments, if you don't mind. The January 17th minutes, the discussion of the rec committee, the appointments for the rec committee, I was listed as liaison. I believe that discussion was, I would be the council member. There's in our ordinance, a council person is to be the member.
Okay.
The minutes of December 28th, I tried to look at the video, it wasn't up yet. The vote on the change order for pump station, I was listed as an aye. I thought I abstained on that one.
I can check that.
Yeah, if you could check that. I explained that I am going to be doing some work for Elizabeth. I'm going to be doing that through JMT, so I will be abstaining. Please remind me if I forget on any bill that has to do with JMT or contract. And then I guess on the same day, the council reports, I thank you for agreeing to, it says administrate. I probably said administer. I probably mumbled it, but administer is...
28, 2?
Yeah, the 28th, yeah,
Under your
yeah, and I
report.
thank you for agreeing to administer the grant.
Oh, okay.
Anything else? Anybody else? Discussion? Need a motion?
I'll make that motion to accept the minutes with those corrections.
Second. Roll call?
Okay. Councilman Belcaro?
Yes.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Mayor Mengucci?
Abstain from the 28th of December, yes to the 3rd and 17th of January. Item number 2 is personnel discussion regarding tax sewer collector Rachel Mosher.
We could hold that till later in your labor attorney is still on the call.
Okay. All right, number 3, ordinance number 18-01, second reading and public hearing to regulate, control, and stabilize rents and creating a rent leveling board. Need a motion to open that up to the public?
I'll make that motion.
Second. All in favor? John?
I'd like to discuss a little bit, if that's all right. If the landlord were to choose to take these rents, all right, take the 3%.
This ordinance doesn't change anything in the current ordinance. So
understand.
all the changes that we made, the one that you
Yes, I
referenced, are
understand that.
all still there. All
Yes,
this
all the
does is say
protections
for
of-
3 more years,
Yes.
we have what's in place
Okay.
already. So that's
Okay,
all.
what's in place already, right? But last year, there was much discussion about the paperwork at some of the rental.
This ordinance doesn't have anything to do with that.
Now, the landlord at any time could raise the rents from couldn't go above 3%, right?
No, only under vacancy decontrol.
And then the other thing isn't it clear that 1.5% security deposit, the landlord can charge that at any time?
That is not governed by the rent control ordinance.
That's not governed by the rent control board.
Governed by state law.
It's a state law. That's what I figure. That's what I tell people. And then, so that's where they sit with the teaser, security deposits and things of that nature, and reductions they make on these other things of that nature. Now, is there any control on them jacking up the rent again? I don't mean for the seniors, but is that still in the ordinance?
By extending this out 3 more years, rent control is in place in Lopatcong for 3
Yes.
more years. There's exceptions like vacancy decontrol, but 3 more years of rent
Yes,
control.
when the landlord reduces the rent upon entry of new tenants, is that still in the ordinance, that he still has a base rent that he is reducing from?
Depends if he follows all the paperwork under the
That's what I
ordinance.
was asking. Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks again.
Anyone else on this? Motion to close public hearing?
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Motion to act.
Motion to act. Need a second?
Second.
Amend the
Motion.
Motion to
Council
adopt the
President,
ordinance.
you seconded.
Did somebody make the motion?
Councilman Belcaro.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Okay, I'll roll call that. Councilman Belcaro?
Yes.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Mayor Mengucci?
Yes. Number 4, ordinance number 18-02, second reading and public hearing on salary ordinance to amend the salary of the chief of police. Need a motion to go into public hearing?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Folks, questions, comments? Seeing none, motion to close? Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Motion to
Need a
act.
motion to act.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Councilman Belcaro?
Yes.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Mayor Mengucci?
Yes. Under new business, number 1, approved payment to Tilcon New York Incorporated for work completed on South 2nd Street in the amount of $59,776.25. Do you have a motion?
Motion.
Second. And Paul, you recommend this?
I'm recommending, excuse me, I'm recommending that the governing body authorize the pavement. The work is done. There was a punch list item at the intersection with Cromwell Street that was addressed by Tilcon, and we did have the asphalt tested as required under our grant agreement with the state of New Jersey, and the testing showed that the asphalt was installed in accordance with the New Jersey Department of Transportation requirements. So given those facts, I recommend you make the payment.
Based on Paul's recommendation, we're good.
I'll roll call that. Councilman Delpero,
Yes.
Councilman Polito,
Yes.
Councilman Wright,
Yes.
Council President Fire,
Yes.
Mayor Menducci.
Yes. Number 2, approved proposal for professional services relating to transportation alternative program project, a route survey at a cost of $19,600.
I do have a question on both this and 3, which might be best handled before we even make a motion.
Okay.
Paul, I understand the proposals and I understand the work. I guess the question comes up, do we actually have a commitment for these grants yet?
We were awarded a grant, but it's subject to us proving that we can manage a federal aid grant. Beth is in the process of putting together a procedures manual that will be subject to the department's approval that shows our township organization and the ability of the township organization to manage this type of grant.
Well, this really has nothing to do with Mazer, but I'd ask the council if it's prudent to start with work until we have that condition taken care of.
I would say it isn't prudent to have work started. But just so the public knows, Paul, this is the sidewalk project from...
Yeah, just so the public's aware, the township is the recipient of 2 grants from the Department of Transportation. They're both federally funded. The township obtained grants in the amount of $702,000 to establish a sidewalk network on Upper Belvedere Road. One of the projects will run from Wildew Avenue, which is the entrance to the township pool, all the way to the west to the flashing signal at North First Street. The only exception to that is the area where sidewalks were installed in conjunction with the Phillipsburg High School in 2016. And then the second project involves running sidewalks on Upper Belvedere Road opposite Wildew Avenue on the south side from the intersection with Charles Road all the way to Red School Lane. That project also involves installing safety improvements at the 4-way intersection that encompasses Upper Belvedere Road, Mountain View Road, which leads into the Scenic Ridge development, and then Buckley Hill Drive, which leads south into the Brakeley Park neighborhood. And then there's a third component to that particular grant, which involves installing sidewalk from the school driveway on Strikers Road to the north to Powderhorn Drive and installing an enhanced and safer crosswalk leading onto Powderhorn Drive. So those are the 2 projects.
I'd like to ask a couple other questions to finish out this discussion. Between Paul and Beth, how long do you think it might take to get this condition taken care of?
Well, they gave us 19 months from the award, right, Paul?
Yes.
We have the manual, it's just about complete. We have a questionnaire that has...
They gave you how long?
19 months
19 months.
to submit your certain documentation to qualify for the grant. So even though we were awarded, we still have to be qualified. Right, Paul?
What do they don't expect you to sit around for 19 months, do they?
What we have is 2 years from the department to prepare contract documents, including plans, and getting them approved so we could advertise the project for public bids.
2 years from a date that's already passed, right? From the date of the
award letter went out.
award letter.
So hence the reason for trying to move the design process along. Again, we do have the grant, it's subject to us proving eligibility, and Beth and I did meet with the department on this, proving eligibility to manage this particular project. I'm trying to find my letter.
Well, is what I'm asking unreasonable? I mean, wouldn't we want to get that done quickly, or?
And we're working diligently to get these manuals prepared and the questionnaires so that we can
And how long do we anticipate for that?
maybe another month.
Paul, with your past experience, has anybody ever started work without all this paperwork being completed first?
Oh, you're talking about, yes, towns have started without
what Joe's
procedures
looking for.
manual, yes.
Let me ask you this.
But again, if you want to play conservative, you can let this sit and defer these contracts for a month or two until we get the submissions made and we get some feedback from the department and we ultimately get these procedures manuals approved. So you can do that.
It's not gonna hurt us as far as possibly losing the grant or anything.
It's just going to give us less time. Just to let you know, on the Safe Routes to School project, which is the one that has the three components, the award letter went out on April 11, 2017. So we theoretically have to have all our documents in order by April 11, 2019 on that. The second grant, which was the Transportation Alternatives, which addresses the sidewalks in the vicinity of the new Phillipsburg High School, that letter came out on August 11, 2017, so we need to have our project authorized for implementation by August 12, 2019. So there's a 4-month lag between the two projects.
I have a suggestion. I'm trying to protect the town here, too.
Yeah, I had no problem, you know, quite honestly.
You know what, my suggestion would be, why don't we approve them tonight, get the paperwork done, get the contracts around, and maybe we can hold notice to proceed for a few weeks until we see where we are with this thing.
So in that case,
Wouldn't hold it indefinitely, but
okay.
gives us an incentive to get it done.
Can we do 2 and 3 together with Joe's recommendations?
Let's see, why not?
So you'll have it under contract, you just hold it a little bit.
I'll sit on it until I get your authorization, so.
Or do it on your own risk if you got nothing else to do.
I don't want to do that.
You're not doing it.
All right, so we need a motion on 2 and 3. Is everybody on board?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll make a motion. Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Belcarro?
Yes.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Fryer?
Yes.
Mayor Mickucci?
Yes. Number 4, reject performance guarantee release request from Berry Plastics for their expansion project on Block 99, Lot 2. Per engineer Sturbin's letter dated January 31st, 2018. Paul?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. My January 31st letter, which is in response to the request that they filed with the township for the release of their bond, outlines a number of construction-related items as well as a number of administrative requirements that need to be addressed before we would be in position to release the bond. So my recommendation to the Township Council tonight through my January 31st letter is to reject that request.
Okay, based on Paul's recommendation, do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second. Just a bit of discussion there. I read your letter, I was kind of shocked they came in here, they want to get everything done, and now they owe us police money and all kinds of stuff. They ask you to lean on them as best you can.
This is a pretty good leaner, so to speak. You're denying this tonight, so it's going to give them some incentive if they want to get their bond back to get these things addressed. And the representation from the person from Boston with STAG is that they are already working on this.
Great.
Okay, very good. So we have a motion and a second based on Paul's recommendations. Roll call, please.
Councilman Belcarro?
Yes.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Fryer?
Yes.
Mayor Mickucci?
Yes. Number 5, approve change order number 2 for Blooming Glen Contractors Incorporated due to repair of leaks in manhole $9 to $1,632, resulting in no change to the total contract amount on the Stonehenge Drive Pump Station Improvement Project.
Yep.
Have a motion? Any discussion?
Make the motion.
Second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Belcarro?
Yes.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Abstain.
Mayor Menducci?
Yes. Number 6, approve payment number 1 to Blooming Glen Contractors Incorporated in the amount of $154,664.72 on the Stonehenge Drive Pump Station Improvement Project. Any discussion? Need a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Belcarro?
Yes.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Abstain.
Mayor Menducci?
Yes. Number 7, approve change order number 3 for Blooming Glen Contractors Incorporated for the addition of item S002 backfill embankment sinkhole in the amount of $3,938.75. Also remove items 3, 9, and 10, resulting in decrease of $148.39, changing the overall contract amount to $221,051.61 on the Stonehenge Drive Pump Station Improvement Project. Any discussion? Motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Belcarro?
Yes.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Abstain.
And Mayor Menducci?
Yes. Number 8, approve payment number 2 to Blooming Glen Contractors Incorporated in the amount of $55,334.31 for work completed on Stonehenge Drive Pump Station Improvement Project. Any discussion? Need a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Belcarro?
Yes.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Abstain.
Mayor Menducci?
Yes. Number 9, resolution authorizing refund of SOAR overpayment on Block 99, Lot 44, C0248, in the amount of $100.83. Any discussion? Motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Belcarro?
Yes.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Mayor Menducci?
Yes. Number 10, Schoolhouse Village request for sewer service.
They have made a request the last few meetings, and I believe in your packet, our sewer engineer prepared you a letter.
Maybe I can comment on this, and I have to be careful again because of my relationship with JMT, but it's really not in the format, and it doesn't have the numbers in the right slots that we should if it's going to look like our wastewater management plan. I don't know if it creates a hardship for them, Paul, if we table it another month, or...
Well, one of the things I wanted to note, going back to the Berry Plastics matter a few minutes ago, one of the outstanding items with Berry Plastic, because they built the gravity sewer that this particular property owner is going to connect to, we never got an as-built to verify that it was built properly, and that particular section of gravity sewer is fairly flat in nature. So I'd like to actually get the as-built for that section of sewer first to verify that it was built properly before we make a commitment to allow these people to tie to it. So I think that might be reason enough to table this to the next meeting. To
Yeah, there's a couple, he wants to connect to a manhole, I don't know if he really has to, the strip mall has to come in a manhole. There's little things, so my recommendation is if we can table it, we'll cross the Ts and dot the Is and do it next month.
Okay, based on Paul and Joe's concerns, we want to get a motion to table number 10.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Second?
Oh,
Gotcha. All in favor, you said?
Yep.
Yes.
for the consent agenda, you have 29 items listed. There was one additional resolution that the collector gave to Beth, so when you do the consent agenda, there would be 30 items, just to make clear for the record. Beth, it's one more redemption of a tax lien, correct?
note that it's a redemption. It could be a refund from an overpayment.
Is that it right there?
Let me just look at that. I know the name was Sagazi. Trying to put my hand on it right now. I have it.
It's not in,
I've given everybody a
oh,
copy of it.
it's in here?
Yeah.
Just looked at that. Here it is. It is payment made towards sewer and homeowner already paid and created a credit on the account, so it's a refund for sewer. The amount of $4,053.09, block 29, lot 12.
I'm sorry, Katrina, is it the homeowner, he overpaid? Is
And the
that-
mortgage company made a payment, and then the homeowner had already paid, so
And what's the amount? That's a lot of money. For the
$4,053.09.
sewer overpay? For tax?
It says sewer.
Sewer? A lot of money for sewer.
That is a lot of money for sewer.
That's for
Yes.
1 year? Based on a year?
The only thing I can think is perhaps it was on the tax sale list, and perhaps it was a lot of money, and the mortgage company paid it, and perhaps the homeowner paid it at the same time. But we'll check it before we make any payments.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is a lot for
That is a lot
sewer.
of money. Okay, any discussion on the consent agenda at all? Seeing none, I need a motion.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Belcaro,
Yes.
Councilman Polito,
Yes.
Councilman Wright,
Yes.
Council President Pryor,
Yes.
Mayor Nutrition.
Yes. Council reports, Jim, you have anything?
No report this month.
Okay. Lou?
Yeah, I just want to, everything that we approved before to pay the payments to the contractor, he's completed a project on Stonehenge. It was completed on the 25th of January. We also installed the fence around it as of yesterday. Yeah, last night I attended a quarterly meeting, sewer's quarterly meeting in Peaburg, and the agenda there last night, given by Dennis Yoder, it was a rate study, odor control study, and solids handling studies, which deals with Peaburg in itself. The one with Lopatcong Township was a Roseberry metering station, and I spoke to Dan Matting today about it, that due to the new pump station that we installed, now it's taken a lot of the load off the Roseberry meter. So now what's happening there is that there's been a problem there with debris getting hung up and giving false readings to people on the meter, which benefits Lopatcong Township because now they're being shorted in revenue. So they're requesting that we install a new flume and also a new meter to rectify the problem. And I spoke to Dan Matting about that. So that's where we are with that. Or they can come in and they will do the work and then bill us. So it's one or the other.
So is the problem being caused by the meter, or is it being caused by the debris going down
Well,
in that area?
right now, there's not enough flow down that part there as was before. So now, any kind of debris, heavy debris is getting hung up because there's enough flow to wash everything through. So one of the things you can do is add another flume inside.
Yeah, I can comment. I used to go to these meetings before
Right.
Lou was going, and this comment never came up during the review, so it's something that happened since the job went in. And flumes have a maximum capacity and a minimum capacity. I imagine when this flow was diverted to the force main, you know, the flow dropped to the point below the minimum capacity. There's a number of ways to attack it. A new flume may not be the best way to do it. There's new meters out that do a great job, but a lot of people are replacing their flumes. I just say that Dan get together with Dennis Yoder and they come to some sort of agreement rather than one side unilaterally make a decision.
Right. Yeah, and that's part of the plan, I think, they'll have to meet with,
Yeah.
with Yoder.
The other thing is I don't know about who should do it. I mean, on one hand, if you let P-Berg do it and it gets all messed up, it's their problem. On the other hand, you know, you lose control over the cost and everything else. So I don't know. I would say let's see what the solution is first. But yeah, I agree. It has to be done.
Right. The second thing that the discussion also was another sewer rate increase. Now, they did going back about 4 years ago, I believe. The discussion then was a 2% increase every year for 5 years. However, it was not approved at the time from all the surrounding communities. So they're only able to raise it for 1 year, 2%. They're at the point right now that if they don't get any kind of sewer rate increase, they'll run out of money. And they need to have money in reserve for emergency purpose, and also some projects that are coming up, possibly expand the capacity of surrounding communities sending more waste to P-Berg. So one of there's a rate study that we all received yesterday, so I'll have to take a look at that. But this is only the preliminary discussion on this. They're talking either 5%, a one-shot, not a one-shot deal, but a 5% increase, and then in the near future look at it again to see where they are, where their reserve is, having enough monies for to do other projects, or continue with the original plan, which was to increase it 2% every year for the next 4 years. So that's where the discussion is at right now.
Okay, and in light of the fact that we're in litigation for...
Yeah, we should discuss a little more of this in closed session.
Right.
Anything else?
Okay. On Route 22, there was a sewer overflow. That's, again, that was an issue there with a blockage. Again, given another false reading, that's been cleared out, so it's working fine now. And then the odor on Baltimore Street, that's what they're doing right now. They're addressing that with some filters. They're washing out the tanks. That seems to help. But we're in the winter time. We'll see when summer comes if that comes back again. But other than that, that concludes my reports.
Thanks, Lou. Billy?
For the rec committee, they just wanted to let everyone know they'd still have pet calendars available for $5 each. You can pick them up in the office during the daytime. Also, they would like to, I guess every year they send about 4 letters out requesting donations from public businesses. They like to stream that down to only sending out 2 a year. One for Community Day donations, and the other one will go out for Easter egg hunt, the music in the park, and the movies in the park. So they'll do tiered donations and stuff instead of bombing the locals and the businesses.
Continually.
All the time. We're going to hit them twice, and that's it. So I guess we need a permission from the council to send them letters out this year.
Any motion
You
on it?
said 2 letters, so one's just for Community Day, the other one was for the Easter egg hunt, music in the park, and what was the third?
Movies in the park.
Oh, movies.
Yeah.
So that one will be a combination.
That'd be a good combination, yeah. In case one place wants to donate to 3 different events,
Right,
we'll have
right.
the signs.
Mm-hmm,
Any motion on it?
sure.
Okay, can I have a motion on Bill's recommendations for the letters?
If I can make a motion, I'll make them.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is it Bill?
That's it for me, yes.
John?
Well, I'm going to report on the same thing since I'm the new member on the committee. I really don't know if we need a liaison anymore, but I guess the bigger thing is
Give that up.
they've, yeah, you get a full plate without that. They've submitted their 218 budget, and it's more than double their 217 budget. And I don't know, it's as much a wish list as, you know, a hard and fast budget request. But they have a couple of requests in there. One is they'd like to go out with an RFP to sponsor the cost of a new sound system at the pool. And the RFP would be, you know, in return for sponsoring the system, you get your name on it for so long and whatever. They also talk about an RFP to sponsor the cost of an electronic sign at the park. We'd have to help them with that, but in conjunction with that, the way these donations come in now, they go through Myrna and they disappear into our accounting system someplace. They're looking to set up a kind of a trust account. I guess it would be similar to what we had with the LAA, Katrina.
Have to be a dedication by rider.
What's
You'd
that?
have to submit a dedication by rider down to the state for approval.
And how quickly could we do that?
The next meeting, I would think.
Okay.
It shouldn't take more than a month.
Yeah, I mean, these solicitation letters and all that, they actually paid for the fireworks last year with donations, but then, you know, the money came in Myrna, we kept it, figuring it was, you know, ours, but looking forward, they want to do a number of things, and they're going to be soliciting these donations, and they would like to know what's in the pot. You know, we'll budget so much, they'll raise so much, and that'll determine what they can do each year. They have fireworks on the list, and I hate to be called Scrooge, but we need so much. I can't support the town paying for fireworks, so that would be, you know, a private donation thing. These other things Bill mentioned. So that's where we are with fundraising.
Have we ever paid for fireworks? I believe most of it was corporate donations, was it not?
We had donations in the past.
Many years it was all donations. You know, I've only been on here 2 years, but I don't recall the town paying for the fireworks. Always paid for it by some. And first year we didn't get the donations, we didn't have fireworks.
Right. So. Okay. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Mine's more of a, not necessarily a report, as kind of a wish list of where I'd really like to see us do some things. Obviously, our roads. And again, I don't have the solutions, nor do I have the numbers to that, but Baltimore Street, Red School Lane, Strikers Road, Marsh Park, Briarstone, Greystone, Anna Place, Grandview, all those places have never really been done. Some of them 40 years, so I'd like to see that get done. Obviously, we've had a rough start to our year out in Brinkley Park on Harwick with the sinkholes out there. We had one on Winfield, so we're doing our best to get through that. The sign at the pool, I think it would be a great idea if we had an electronic sign out there, providing we can maybe get some corporate sponsors for that also, to let people know what's going on in the park. I think we need to promote that park more, as much as we can. Maybe we can generate some revenue up there. So that's kind of where I want to take things at this point. Obviously, you know, we have not sat down yet with our budget. I've talked to Kim. She told me that it's not as bad as it's been in the past, but nonetheless, I don't have any answers for you yet. But we'll get some. So having said all of that, all I have at this point. Paul, your report, please.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Just three things real fast. On the closeout of the Phillipsburg High School roadway improvement project with the county, I've made some progress in closing out some of the items, mainly with JCP&L There was a meeting tomorrow at the site of the signal with Service Electric and Cable and Verizon, who have to do some work to rectify one of the items in the county's letter, and I have a dialogue going with them regarding some of the deeds at this point. So I have a lot of things in motion. I don't have the situation fully concluded at this point, but my hope would be at our next council meeting on March 7th, I would have that done. So everything, as I mentioned to you at the last council meeting, everything else is done. The DOT has signed off on the project. We got their last $75,000 from them out of our $300,000 grant for that project that arrived in the last few weeks. So that's done. It's the county, getting the county closed out so that they assume the traffic signal on this project. That's what we really need to accomplish. Regarding Harwich Road, there has been some progress toward remediating the situation there and getting that roadway open. The water main work is essentially done now. I felt it took exceedingly long to get the work done. I'm used to seeing 250 feet of water main done in a day on a project, and there was three, Mayor, you know this, we talked last week, and we pulled off the job because it was going so slowly over there, but they only had about 100 feet of water main, and it took 3 days. So it went slow, but the work is done. Right now, weather permitting, they're supposed to repair all the damaged pavement areas on Friday, and if that is in fact done and the work is approved, we can reopen the road Friday. So that is the goal. We'll have to see what happens. I just delivered a progress letter to all the residents tonight before this meeting, and there was a lot of snow and ice on that street, so it remains to be seen whether all that snow and ice is going to melt and the street dry off before Friday, but let's hope for the best. If not, then we'll probably be looking at Monday with the water company to getting that done. Regarding the damaged utility lines between 14 and 20 Harwich Road, which is underneath the sidewalk area, I have met with JCP&L. I have coordinated with the cable company and Verizon. There's commitments to do work, but due to the frozen ground at this point and the weather conditions, the thought from those utility companies, they don't want to tackle that until the month of March. So that area is going to remain closed. When I went there tonight, I was very dissatisfied with the barreling and coating that the water company has, so I need to contact them tomorrow to provide a more durable barrier around that area. We don't want anybody walking into these sidewalk areas that have some voids beneath them. So I will take care of that in the morning. The last thing, Mayor, I agree that there's some areas that need to be paved, and just to let you know, the Morris County Cooperative Pricing Council, of which we are a member, did award a contract for milling and paving work for 2018, and the prices are very favorable. Again, they're slightly higher than last year, but they're still very favorable. I think we were working with a $61 a ton price for a top course last year, and it's slightly over $63 a ton this year. Is roughly a $2 increase on the top course tonnage. The base course was a few dollars a ton greater than what it was last year. The milling unit prices are the same, so I think it's still favorable conditions to getting work done, in accordance with that contract in the municipality. We will have to watch the asphalt price index because the contract is tied to the asphalt price index, and it has crept up since the date that the co-op bid the work for 2018. And what that means is if the index goes up, we have to pay some escalation on the tonnage price. Last year it was $3 to $4 a ton. So we may see something similar to that this year.
How about grant money? You hear anything on that at all for any projects?
The DOT is going to be making a decision. We have a very aggressive grant application to get money to improve all of Baltimore Street between Strikers Road and the entrance to the Hillcrest Mall. So I'm optimistic on that application. I think we put together a good application. The township was putting some funds in, which are going to garner you some points under the review system that the DOT has for that type of application. So I'm optimistic. I think we'll hear pretty soon on on that particular application and how it stands.
That would be great, and again, I haven't looked at the budget yet, but, I think there are some residents out there, especially in Morris Park, some of the other areas that just flat out haven't had their roads touched probably in 40 years as far as any kind of milling or repaving. Am I correct, Brian?
That's correct.
Yeah, so I mean, we need to show them something.
So, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Need a motion to approve department reports?
Make the motion.
Second?
Second.
Roll call, please. All in favor?
Aye.
Payment of bills?
I did have 2 questions real quick.
Go ahead.
Before we do that. We have Greater Lehigh Valley 218 membership. What membership is that, Beth?
The chamber?
Oh, yeah, it's Chamber of Commerce.
The chamber? And then the other one was to Randolph. I assume that's the Morris County Collective that we're doing there?
Is it $1,100?
$1,100?
Yeah,
That's
that's what
the
it is.
co-op, Morris County
Yes.
Co-op.
Okay.
Have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm gonna roll call that because it's not.
Okay.
I guess so.
Councilman Belcarro?
Yes.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Mayor Menounos?
Yes. Folks, questions, comments? John?
Councilman Polito, I may have missed your report, I don't know whether you included it in there or not. Is EDAC functional?
EDAC is functional, planning to have a meeting at the end of the month.
Yes, okay. Kind of interesting in the Phillipsburg Mall.
I've been meeting with the Lopatcong EDAC, and we've been discussing that at the meeting. I'm probably going to meet with them next week. They usually have their meetings second week of the month. And I'm also going to bring this up at the county EDAC meeting.
Okay, and then, okay, that's good. And then the environmental committee, is that still in existence? Does anybody-
Yes, and we're going to retool that a little bit. We're going to try and align it more with what its mission is in our code,
Yes.
which is to work more with the planning board and less on, more in the area of open space and less on, fish and...
Okay, and then just one last question. As far as energy, at one time, was there some kind, do any of your councilmen know about, sometime there was like comments on getting one particular energy source for the entire community?
Yeah, Harmony did it, and it's out there.
Yes.
We should be at least looking at it.
And, okay, and what type of energy do they use to supply the,
I don't know, as I understand it, they're just a supplier and you get a contract. But these people call you on the phone and they want you to switch your electric. and
Yes,
you're gonna get
just
the
like
cheapest.
Ambit
Well,
that I
this
switched
you
to.
do on a whole town-wide basis. And it's, you get a contract that runs for several years with one supplier. And everybody's included unless you opt out. You're allowed to opt out. And that's my understanding of the program.
okay.
And there's some folks we have to contact and get the details and so on. Then there'll be a lot more discussion.
Yeah, we'll probably come up with a couple people there, because we have that with the school district over in Phillipsburg.
Yes, Jim. Yes,
New Energy
Mayor.
was our energy people for a while. Now we're looking to another source. So Joe's absolutely right. Signed a contract with them for a number of years. They're out there because they're obviously a bigger.
That's
buyer.
very good, though, bringing affordable
Yeah, this
contracts.
works on a town-wide basis, so rather than answering all these annoying
I
phone
think they
calls.
even lumped a couple towns together,
Yeah.
so they've been doing rounds of them, so.
And also, when that were to be taken into consideration, I would hope that some kind of consideration for clean energy sources would be included in that. To some
I'll be
extent.
honest with you, I don't know if that's a factor in this program.
Oh, okay.
I don't,
We'll find out.
Okay, okay.
I don't think that's a criteria.
Just keep in mind, it's kind of like going to Sam's Club. You're going to save so much money, and the first thing you do is spend money for a membership. So it's kind of the same thing with the
Well, I understand that.
lower you need
I do
before you
have
start.
that. Okay. All right, thank you, gentlemen.
All right, John, thank you.
Thank you, John.
Anyone else? Questions, comments? Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Lisa Nolan. We live at 21 Harwich Road. And although I was coming here with several questions, you answered some of them for me. But we have some concerns. As you stated, it's been taking a very long time for them to repair this road. And, you know, where they barricaded the road, I guess where Wordsworth Lane is, all the way down to Powderhorn, it's made it very inconvenient for the neighbors in our area, especially in the wintertime when there's snow on the ground, we have to walk through ice, whatever. We have been told, by you, I believe, that we could now go into our driveway, park in our garage and whatever, but there are still about 4 homes that cannot do that. And there are people that have physical handicaps, and it makes it very difficult for them to get into their...
Referring to the barns?
To their homes. And I don't understand how it's taken this long. I mean, the first incident happened on January 2nd. We're now at February 7th, and still have a closed road. And now you're saying that the utilities don't want to do any of the repair work where that sidewalk is because the ground is too frozen. What do they do in an emergency situation where they have to get underground? I mean, to me, that doesn't make sense. You know, not that that's your problem, but it's the utilities problem.
Right. Our main
And
focus,
to me, it's...
yeah, it's certainly an important issue here. We need to get addressed, but the most important issue is getting this road paved so that we can take the barricades away and have this road function as a through road, which it always has been. Right now, you know, it's not open to through traffic.
No.
So that's our main focus, and hopefully we can get this paving done.
And it's a big concern, because, you know, back in 2015, there was a sinkhole right on Wordsworth where the plow truck fell through. And then last January, there was another one right next to it, almost just as big. And they repaired both of those. And now we have them on our road, which is just right around the corner. So it's a concern. As a homeowner, I'm worried about the value of my home. I'm worried about where there are any other sinkholes, either in the road or, God forbid, on somebody's property. And it's a very uneasy feeling to live on that street right now. And for the water company to take that long to replace those pipes and the water line, I mean, you know, we're there every day. Well, my husband's home every day. He sees what they're doing or what they're not doing. They're not there every day. They come and go when it's convenient for them. And it's just, I don't know.
They had promised myself, Mr. Servants, and 3 of the residents out there, they would be there a week ago Monday.
Right.
They weren't. So, needless to say, I was on the phone with them, I was not happy.
And our road was not paved today, and I get it, you know, there's the barricades there, but, you know, we have to get out of our house too.
Yep.
And we have access to our house, and it's not paved. Now, I did email Beth, and she was kind enough to get back to me, and they did come down, but that was after the fact that one of my neighbors came down with his little, you know, tractor and plowed as well as he could. But that doesn't help us. Garbage collection. We have to bring our garbage cans to the end of the street.
Yeah.
I mean, this is an inconvenience.
Yeah, and your mail also.
And it's cold out, you know, I mean, you're bringing your garbage back and forth, you know. We pay for that service, you know, we pay our taxes, and I don't know, it's very disheartening.
Very frustrating, I'm sure.
Yes.
And listen, it's all over. I don't need to tell you that, but there's no consolation to you or any of the homeowners out there.
Right.
That there's houses lost up in North Casasaqua, Bethlehem, it's the whole area.
No, I know.
But I do agree that it's taken way too long for the water company to handle this.
And I feel more for my neighbors.
I can't speak for the utility, but maybe, Paul, I'll make this suggestion. Is it because they really haven't lost any services out there? I mean, is that what generates them going out there? The loss of service? Because I believe that nobody's lost their service, correct?
Right.
Yeah, so maybe that's it. I don't know that's the reason.
It's dangerous, though.
Sure it is.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, if you come down that street, you can see that the boxes themselves are in the ground.
Yeah. I've been on the street several times.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we look at it every day, so it's very disheartening.
Hopefully we'll get paved on Friday and you'll be able to open it up and get some semblance of order out there.
Hopefully.
Get your garbage out to the end of your driveway, get your mail. So.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? Questions, comments? I do need a motion to go back into executive.
Motion.
We will take action when we come out.
Aye. Folks, that's it. We need to go back into executive session, so fortunately, you need to leave. Have a great night. Thanks for coming. You're more than welcome to hang around. We will be taking some action when we come out. You guys want coffee that bad?
I know, right?
Really? I'll bring a pot next time we have a meeting, guys. All right, need a motion to come out of executive session?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now we need a motion to authorize the actions discussed in executive session based on the attorney's recommendations.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Belcarro?
Yes.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Mayor Longfellow?
Yes. Motion to adjourn, unless somebody has something else?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.